Requirements for celebrations and significant life events. This document applies to the private celebrations, receptions, parties, or similar private events discussed in the following section because COVID-19 spreads more when people who are familiar with one another gather together to socialize or to celebrate special occasions. It's easy for us to let our guard down in these situations and to forget the steps needed to keep ourselves and others safe. When food and beverage are involved, the risk is even higher because people must remove their masks to eat and to drink. Alcohol also creates its own special risks by lowering inhibitions, and we know that these risks increase in the later hours of the night. In balancing the important milestone occasions with the risks of COVID-19 transmissions, the private celebrations and parties are limited further if they involve food and beverage. For private celebrations and receptions or parties with food or beverage, capacity must be limited to allow 6 feet of social distancing and may not exceed 25% up to the maximum of 50 people. In addition, these events must not occur between hours of 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. For private celebrations, receptions, parties, or other similar private events without food or beverage, capacity must be limited to follow 6 feet of social distancing. Capacity may not exceed 25% up to a maximum of 250 people. This document does not apply to wedding, funerals, or religious services or ceremonies at a place of worship, event center, or other venue that comply with the COVID-19 preparedness plan requirements for faith-based communities, places of worship, weddings, and funerals. This guidance increases allowance for capacity, but generally requires seating and strict controls on movement. Celebrations, receptions, private parties, and other similar gatherings. This document applies to private celebrations, receptions, parties, or other similar gatherings held in a venue or business. Venues that host these events must develop and comply with the event-specific COVID-19 preparedness plan that incorporates the requirements in this document. This includes receptions, parties, and gatherings connected to weddings. For example, wedding receptions. Funerals, celebrations before or after a funeral service, different life milestones like birthday parties, retirement parties, graduation parties, and parties for other similar milestones, family reunions, and other similar occasions. This also includes receptions, parties, and gatherings connected to planned religious services. For example, receptions before or after a religious service, and other private social events. For example, cocktail parties, dances, work parties, professional networking events, and other similar events. Requirements for venues that host private parties and also remain open to the public. If a venue hosts an event that falls within this guidance and also remain open to other members of the public, for example, a private party in a section at a restaurant, the venue must comply with the following. It must designate an exclusive and separate event space within the establishment, like a ballroom, private room, or a separate space, to ensure persons attending the event remain separated from other patrons who are not attending the event, and areas or activities not associated to the event. Workers hired specifically for the event, such as outside caterers or entertainers, must also be separated. The attendees of the event must be included in calculating the overall capacity of the venue, restaurant, or bar. Events with food and beverage. Events that involve food or beverage may not take place between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. Events must be limited to a maximum of 50 people, counting those indoors and outdoors, where 6 feet of social distancing can be maintained between members of different households. Or 25% capacity. Events without food and beverage. Events, whether indoors or outdoors, must be limited to ensure that social distancing of 6 feet can be maintained between members of different households at all times. Capacity must be further limited to the lesser of 25% capacity, or 250 patrons total. Face coverings must be worn by all people in accordance to the Executive Order 2081 and the policies of the venue hosting the event. Follow the COVID-19 preparedness plan. All businesses, organizations, venues, and event organizers hosting celebrations and events governed by this guidance are required to develop and implement an event-specific COVID-19 preparedness plan that incorporates the requirements in this guidance and other applicable guidance on the Stay Safe Minnesota. This plan must be available so people on the premise can easily see the document. It's important that prior to the event, plan how to address a situation where people are not following the face covering or social distance requirements throughout the entire event. If attendees are not complying with the applicable requirements, stop the event. Requirements: health screening, maintain physical distance of at least 6 feet, use a face covering, hand hygiene practice, provide hand sanitizer at entrances and exits and other strategic locations.